We have team coverage for you, starting with KFOX 14 News at 9's Ric Dupont. He's live in downtown El Paso, where authorities walked the man over from Mexico just hours ago. Rick.
I'm standing just outside of the Paso del Norte port of entry. Now, earlier today, just before noon, 35-year-old Luis Javier Solis Gonzalez, the man police have been looking for since yesterday morning, the man that I asked you to help police find last night, turned himself in. He walked over from the Mexican side of the border and turned himself in to Customs and Border Protection officers. Now check this out. We had 2 cameras rolling as officers escorted him out of police headquarters and put him into a patrol car. Keep this in mind. You're looking at a man accused of murdering 3 people, one of them a 13-year-old girl. Now you can see he's wearing this white jumpsuit because his clothes have been taken for evidence. He didn't say anything. He didn't even look at our cameras when he walked out. Now we told you yesterday police found the victims in a townhome in East El Paso early yesterday morning. The victims are Solis Gonzalez's ex-wife, Marisol Saldivar, her 13-year-old daughter, Cassandra Holt, and Maricel's new boyfriend, Eric DeSantianto. Of course, we're not sure what made Solis Gonzalez turn himself in, but I spoke with DeSantiago's sister about an hour and a half ago, and she says that the news of the arrest at least gave her family a little bit of relief.
I just pray that justice would be served. And right now, my feelings, like I said, are I do forgive him. I don't feel hatred. I don't feel anger. There's lots of pain, of course.
And that really was the theme of our whole conversation, is that she was just ready to forgive this man. She said this whole situation is a test of her practice of forgiveness. Now, Solis Gonzalez is facing capital murder charges, and right now his bond is set at $1.5 million. Reporting live from downtown El Paso, Ric Dupont, KFOX 14 News at 9. I'm outside of the El Paso International Airport, where after waiting for hours, I was finally able to catch up with Superintendent Damon Murphy. I asked him about an incriminating email of his that was read publicly today and criticized. He almost slipped right by us. Can we talk to you real quick? Knowing we were there to ask him about allegations of corruption.
Look, I've been flying all day. I've been on a trip.
If you read Damon Murphy's biography on Canutillo's website, it talks about him leading the charge to turn around many of EPISD's failing schools when he was their associate superintendent. EPISD now says that may have been because he was cheating.
Murphy wrote, quote, "A student coming in from out of country should be placed in 9th grade regardless of out of country transcript notations."
This email was allegedly sent as a directive from Murphy to EPISD staff 4 years ago. EPISD's interim superintendent read it out loud in a news conference today.
I did not see anything that happened today, so I am in no position to comment.
EPISD is under federal investigation for allegedly trying to keep certain students out of 10th grade, where they would have to take assessment tests.
Such an order disregards district policy and causes great harm to children.
But Murphy,
You are ambushing me.
Can you talk to me about your policy in Canutillo? Would not answer questions about making similar rules in his new district.
I'm not in any position to talk about any policy right now.
He only wanted to talk about his accomplishments in Canutillo. You're part of the news today,
know.
sir, so we're just trying to get an answer.
And I'm giving you an answer. I have no comment other than to tell you that we're doing great in Canutillo.
Now, once again, Murphy said he felt ambushed today. He said he had not had a chance to review those allegations. I asked him if he would review those allegations and speak with us tomorrow. Once again, he said no comment. Reporting live from our exclusive Eastside Bureau, Ric Dupont, KFOX 14 News at 9.
KFOX 14 News at 9's Ric Dupont joins us live from our exclusive Eastside Bureau.
Well, it's pretty quiet out here right now, but this morning, Eastlake High School was like the scene of a Hollywood film. The SWAT team was making entry. There were snipers on the roof. Gunshots and screams were heard. This was all part of an emergency drill, but the problem for some students is that they had no warning, so they thought it was real. For a minute, forget the idea that hundreds of students and teachers thought they were in the middle of an actual terrorist attack. And imagine being a parent at home receiving this text from your child.
And I said, "What?" And he said, I'm not kidding. There's gunshots and people screaming, and we're locked in a storage closet."
Stephanie Belcher immediately called 911.
And I explained that I got a phone call from my son that there were gunshots.
The students say flash bombs were set off and everyone was locked down inside of their classrooms.
These kids thought that their classmates were being killed and that they could be next.
They went a little bit too far.
There's no excuse for that.
Rudy Soto said it didn't end there.
I couldn't breathe.
The panic almost induced a full-blown asthma attack
It was pretty scary.
because no one,
Even the teachers got scared.
other than the school principal, was warned about this drill.
They terrorized these kids. For what?
If you warn too many people, then the simulation, is not effective.
But with no warning and no way to contact the school, Belcher and her son had to live through the worst-case scenario.
I'm enraged.
I'd rather them be upset with us now instead of something happening. We're not prepared, and then people are going to ask questions. Why weren't you prepared?
I went to school in California and I don't remember them shaking the building when we had an earthquake drill.
SISD insists this is all about learning from mistakes, and for that, it was a success. Is this something that you would do again?
After we had evaluated, look at it, how could we better prepare the parents?
Now the district tells me that it kept this drill completely away from all special needs students. It also says that in another situation like this one, or in a real emergency, although you might not be able to tell the difference, parents that have questions should simply call the district office. Reporting live from our exclusive Eastside Bureau, Ric Dupont, KFOX 14 News at 9.
Okay, ma'am.
At Brown Bag Deli, this empty space is normally filled with hungry soldiers.
When I walked in, I was the only person in here, and I've never seen it like that.
Which is good for Jacob Truesdell. Every minute counts.
Because of the time we're allotted for lunch.
And because he'll have to travel out of his way.
About 10 or more miles.
Just to get back on post.
Because instead of just going down 601 straight to the gate,
They have to go either through Fort Bliss.
I gotta take a left on 54 to go to either Trans Mountain and find my way up that way.
Or they have to take the detour all the way down the railroad.
Hit the loop, or take a right and go through main post.
This week, many soldiers have avoided the maze and Brown Bag Deli, costing this business
between $300 to $500 a day during lunch alone.
The question,
why they can't do it at night only,
has two different answers.
What are we going to do? Are we going to make this painful for a long time, or we're just going to get out there and get this done?
Working days cuts the project's time frame by 2/3, and in the long run,
daylight is better because the higher temperatures help with the curing and some of the other issues.
That's when businesses along this area need their customers.
TxDOT says this ramp is having to be resealed because the original contractor did not do the job up to standard. And working nights only,
I can't assure that it's gonna stay as well.
Could mean Brown Bag Deli,
sandwich of the combo,
has to rely on its most loyal customers.
It's a pain.
While they fix the ramp a third time. Ric Dupont.
You're doing it anyway.
Oh yeah, this place is worth it.
KFOX 14 News at 9.